So I'll start with a story. It was me and my 2 years ago crush, I think you can call it. We were me and her at the mall. We were there. We were at the library before, and we were studying. We were doing some for our exams and stuff. And me and her were just there, sitting there talking, having some food. Very calm, very nice. Kind of freaking out inside, but that's just as you do. And as we started talking, I started talking about the kind of ambitions and what I wanted to do in life, because you can probably tell from my mom and just my family in general, we're very ambitious people. We have very big dreams and we always want to be doing something big, right? And so I always want to tell her about this if I'm going to start a business, go to university maybe, and do all these big things. And I asked her about it. And her answer just seemed, I'm not going to say weak, but it wasn't as grandiose as I wanted it to be. And I don't know, something about, like, she was very smart. She's and she's still very smart. And she's very talented, but like I felt like she kept her ceiling very low. It was just like finish school, go to university, get a job, and like have a family and just all that stuff. It was very good goal, but I feel like she could have done bigger. She could have done very bigger. And that really hit me, and I thought to myself, maybe there's other people like that. There are people with immense potential, or people that can do big things, but they just don't believe they can, or they just don't think they can. And basically this is I think some of you, maybe I've probably talked about it, but I talked about my page that I run, and it's called My Way of Life, and it's just inspirational stuff like that, but that's what it was based off. That's why I started it. I wanted to make other people believe that they have talent, that they have enormous potential, because they do. It's just a matter of that they just don't see it themselves, and I wanted to be able to make them understand, because I'm surrounded by immensely smart people. Most of my friends, they're so smart, they're very talented in art, music, either just math, or just all the subjects at all. It's just all aspects of life. I have immensely talented friends, but I feel like they're capped by, I don't know, maybe it's the parents, maybe it's just self-confidence issues, but they just don't aim high, not high, but ambitiously high. Okay. And I believe that if you want to bring out your full potential and be the best person you can be, you gotta have big ambitions. And it's very likely you're not gonna achieve those big ambitions because they're very big and they're probably gonna be very hard. But it's the fact that you're going for it. And when you go for it, your body gets pushed in more and more and more. And when you look back, because you'd be looking forward, striving super hard for it, and then you're not gonna know it, and then you're gonna look back at one point and just realize the amount of distance you covered. And you've been like, damn, I'm so much more, I don't know, skilled, or you just grown. You can see your growth by the distance you've traveled. And I wanna talk about how to max out, or just how to reach your full potential, because potential is very different. I have different high max potential to other people, and it's basically about effort and consistency. It's about the effort you put in daily. If you put 20% of effort every day, of your effort every day towards any skill or ability you want to get better at, you're going to be 20% level of where you can be. If you put 40%, you become 40%, 50, 50, 60, 60, and all on. And if you put 100% of your effort every day consistently on the grind, at some point you're going to realize you're at the max potential. You're the best person you can be. And that's the funny thing. And I have a perfectly good example of this. In year 7, I think. Yeah, I was in year 7 and I was doing math. Because the year before it was year 6 and it was this testing thing. It's called ICAT. It's the Australian and New Zealand grading test thing. And I did a math test on it. I did horrible. I just absolutely completely whiffed it. And then the next year, I wanted to do well. And also my mom wanted me to do well. She's right there. But I wanted to do well. So basically I put in the work. I put at least an hour every day. I'll basically do math for a year straight. And I can tell you right now, that was kind of my peak of my academic success, because I was top 1% in Australia and New Zealand overall in maths. And when I look back at it, it was crazy. I never understood it, but that was my effort and consistency showing up with ability. And at that moment, at a year 7 level, that was pretty good. It was like a good 90%. I could have done more. Yes, I know. I could have practiced harder because there was days where I was lazy and stuff. But I was like 12, and it's just what happens. But I put in the work, and the consistency really shows through. And the big thing with giving your all every day is there's no regrets. There's no point in your, like after you've done, you can't say anything. You can't be like, oh, I could have done better. No, you can't because you did everything you wanted. And that's a really nice feeling. It's like, even if you fail, even if you like fail miserably, and that's a big part of my life, but it's a different story. Even if you fail completely, you tried your absolute best. And that's a really nice, calming feeling because you're like, okay, there was nothing I could have done anymore. I prepared, I did everything, and it just wasn't it. But you can always think to yourself, you grew, and you grew immensely, and that's just how it goes. And also, the funny thing about consistency, it works both ways. Because let's say, it works really well on diets. Let's say you eat healthy for like 3 years straight. You've just been on the salads, you've been on the fresh meats, and you've just been having a really healthy diet, and you can have like one day where you just eat all junk foods. You're not gonna turn fat in that one day. But also vice versa, if you have a really unhealthy diet and you eat a salad, you're not gonna turn healthy. And that's just not it's about that long, consistent effort, and that's what really just brings out growth. That's what really changed it. I think it's the long game. And one last thing, talking about potential, you gotta stay off decisions that decreases your CAP. Whether it be mental or physical, like if you're an athlete, smoking, that's just not a good idea because you're just messing up your lungs and then your whole cap's just gonna turn down. Same with drugs and all that stuff, because if you do them, no matter how much you're gonna try, you're damaging your future. Because you might not feel it at the point, but you're gonna realize that you're at a point where it's just like completely lowered your cap. And yeah.